Just because you know someone well or you have a camaraderie, those people aren't necessarily your friends to the bigger life. Your friends become fiends, they become your enemies to who you could be. Growing up in San Francisco as a surfer kid and started surfing when I was like 8 or 9 years old. And that became every day. And I developed a lot of surfer buddies at the ocean beach, and we'd surf under the Golden Gate Bridge, and we'd go down the coast, down to Santa Cruz and Half Moon Bay, and just live that life. There was a certain point, I want to say I was early 20s, 21 ish, 22 years old. I was like, hey, this environment and the people that I was around, I could see it wasn't going to change. I wasn't changing. I was like, this environment completely accepts me as I am. 100% it accepted me as I was, all those friends, and we knew each other. We were all had the same mindset, same whatever we were doing, drinking, going out, partying. I was probably shifting out of the partying part already. I was a little younger, like 18, 19. I gave up alcohol and stuff, but I was still just the mindset of all those kids, all those guys I grew up with. It was definitely like a comfort zone. And I knew there was something bigger in me to discover in myself, in my life. A God was pulling me, calling me in a different kind of direction. So I left San Francisco. I had all these friends from my youth, grade school, junior high, middle school, high school. Just because you know someone well or you have a camaraderie, you have that community, those people aren't necessarily your friends to the bigger life. I'm not talking about material things. That may apply, but I'm speaking more to the spiritual life, like a life that you need to discover on your own. Your friends become fiends. They become your enemies to who you could be. Shakespeare said, you know who you are, but you know not who you could be. There was a lid, there was like a glass ceiling that I was inside of, and I knew I had to disrupt that. So I needed to move and get into other environments. So I moved to Southern California, ended up in LA, Los Angeles. And I discovered quickly just the environment itself was very uncomfortable. It was not in a comfort zone. I didn't know anyone in LA. But what it did is it put me on this deep spiritual path. Like I was yearning for a learning about who I could be and about God and my spiritual life. And it was very lonely, and I was on my own. But then I'll tell you what, I started going around like almost shopping for different like spiritual environments, or, go to public talk in some church. So I'd go there. There's all these different new age kind of groups and yoga groups and chanting groups, and you get all of it. And I would literally go check it all out. But it was like each environment I go into, I was like, no, not this. No, not that. I was looking for something, but I trusted my instinct. Gurus from India or from wherever would be visiting in town, or big authors, and I'd go to their talks, and it was like, I'd get good, maybe little tidbits of like knowledge or something, but I was like, no, it's not it. And it was like this process of no, not this. I was looking for something, but then I realized most of those environments were very accepting. But then I started coming across some environments that actually weren't so accepting. They were more confronting. They were more challenging of who I was. I wasn't looking to be accepted for who I was because I wasn't satisfied. That was a void. I knew there was something greater, something more. So I wasn't looking to be accepted. I was looking for truth, the truth that was setting me free. It's not just putting someone down or being truth. It's like coming from a place of wisdom and truth born from love. It was accepting of who I actually was and who I could be. It was unaccepting of anything else other than that.